Hey everyone, good morning. It is Shy from Be Insightful Community, and I am here to just let y'all know that I am back with the podcast, and it will also be uploaded to YouTube at Be Insightful Community. You go ahead and check out that channel. We'll try to upload these videos at least the following Saturday that the recording is out for the podcast. But if you want to catch it early, catch it on any platform that you listen to your catch it on any platform that you listen to your podcast on. And today I'm just here in a hoodie. I've got my puff out, and I'm just here to be real with you guys today. I am going to be more open because guess what? Your girl just graduated. I just graduated from Kennesaw State with my bachelor's degree of applied science and information technology. So I am super excited that I completed such a big milestone in my life, and I can't wait to, see the road ahead of me. Just to make sure I stay on track for this podcast, I do need to pull out my notebook. I got a pretty notebook from Five Below. But let me go ahead and get these notes situated. Alright, so I'm gonna do the intro real quick. So if you guys don't know, welcome to Be Insightful in Technology. This is the podcast that helps you gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to be insightful in technology. Alright, so I know that I took a break, but that was because I needed to get everything done with my classes. I had one class, and it was a capstone class, and that one was, it was like I was doing work every single day. But finally done, got my degree, girl, walked on that stage. I was really excited. So today is an episode, it's like, graduated, now what? So I just want to go over kind of like how did I graduate early, because I did graduate at 21 years old, and I only had to do 2 years at Kennesaw. So I started my journey pretty early on, and I just want to cover how is that possible to make sure that if any of the young ones out there listening, preferably the ones who are middle school, high school, if you're listening, this is kind of like where you can jump in at early and save you a lot of money, because I graduated debt free too. So I was super excited that I graduated in December of this year, 2021. Oh my god. Okay, let me get this straight. Alright, so I graduated this year in December of 2021, and I graduated at 21 years old. What made it super exciting was just I accomplished such a big goal. I was able to graduate from college debt-free. Mind you, the fact I was able to graduate from college debt-free. And one way that I did that was utilizing dual enrollment while I was in high school. It saved me so much money taking the classes in high school while they were free, for one, and then going after my associates while in high school as well. That cut down like half of what I needed to do at Kennesaw. So I'm just looking down at my notes, got my handy dandy notes here, because there's a lot to cover in this podcast, this video, this everything. If you guys want to see the video version and you're listening on podcast, just go ahead and go to YouTube and go to Be Insightful Community. And if you're listening and watching on YouTube, I'm glad that you came. You'll see all of my facial expressions and all of my hand movements. This is an experience right here. So yeah, so when I was in high school, I graduated high school in 2019, and I graduated with like, I don't even know how many college credits were under my belt, but by the time I was in my first semester senior year, I was pretty much already done with high school. I stayed. I could have graduated near the end of my junior year of high school, but I didn't want to. I was also completing a program at Rockdale Career Academy in our Cisco networking program, and this kind of like all ties together. So I started dual enrollment in the 10th grade, and I just took one class because I was like, let me get a feel for it. They're saying it's really hard for sophomores. It's better if you're a junior or a senior when you take it. And I was just like, let me take it now. Let me see what it's like now. So I jumped into it with the English class, and I realized that it was not that hard. I actually had a really understanding professor. She was real fun in her classes, able to talk to her. So that's what made me jump further into doing dual enrollment kind of full-time. I pretty much did it full-time. Alright, so one thing that's been really helping me is Skillshare. I've been learning how to do podcasting on Skillshare. And I've also taken up a hobby of learning Japanese and trading. I am doing so many different things with Skillshare. If you guys are looking to get a free trial, the link will be in the description. Go ahead and click on the link and let me know if you enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, go ahead and keep it. I'm planning to continue doing Skillshare for a year. My whole thing is invest in myself, invest in my skills, invest in my growth this upcoming year. So go ahead and be a part of the community that's willing to grow. Like, if you want to be insightful in technology, you have to grow your skills in multiple different aspects. So go ahead and click on the link in my description for Skillshare and get a trial. Get a free trial and enjoy it. Take advantage of it. With that, dual enrollment is essentially taking college classes while in high school. You're earning college credit for a semester, and you're earning your high school credit for like that 1 year. I am in Georgia, so I don't know if it's different, but where I'm at, you take one college class worth 3 credits. You get the 3 college credits, and for your high school class, let's say you took science, you took like chemistry. Everybody has to take chemistry in high school. So if you take a college level chemistry class, that counts for like one full high school year. So we all know college classes last a semester long. High school is a full year. So let me explain this better. So I took dual enrollment in high school. I started off in my sophomore year, this 10th grade, and I did one class. I did English 1101, my first time doing dual enrollment, and the class was actually pretty okay. It wasn't nothing that was super hard. It was better than taking AP, in my opinion. You get the college credit right out. So when I took that class, it encouraged me to dive in deeper and kind of take on dual enrollment full time. So if you don't know what dual enrollment is, that is taking college classes while also in high school. So I cut down half of what I did at Kennesaw, and I did dual enrollment through Georgia Piedmont Technical College. With them, I went ahead and pursued my associate's degree in Cisco networking. It was technically in like an associate of applied science in Cisco networking, and under that, it gave like a bunch of other certifications, but it was through the college. Like, there's a CompTIA A+ cert, but it's through the college. It was another like PC hardware technician. I think that fell in the A+ program. There were a lot of stacks under it, but I'm primarily focused on Cisco. My main goal that I wanted to pursue was just networking, and I don't mean like networking people to people. I mean computer networking, ensuring that internet does not go down type networking. So that was my primary goal when looking into the programs that I wanted to take with Georgia Piedmont. So even then, I went ahead and like hit that program hard. I was trying to cross off course after course after course, as many as I could take for free during high school. Like, I suggest to anyone looking to go to school, I suggest, like, if you're going to school in your state, if you know for certain you want to go to school in your state, and you already know you need to save. Everybody needs to save money for college. Like, everybody needs to make sure they can save on time and money. And I strongly suggest doing dual enrollment. It is one of the best decisions I've ever made. I suggest it to like everybody because it saves you money. College costs a lot. At this point, sometimes with majority of fields, even in technology, I don't necessarily think getting a degree is necessary. Like, I have certifications and degrees. So either way it goes, experience is on top of all of that. It is what it is. But this is my opinion. I feel like I can say it because I got everything. It's just like I went the certification, I got the certifications, I got the degrees, I have the experience. So just, I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking out the side of my neck, but I'm just letting you know that save money on something. For everybody that's getting the CompTIA certs and you're trying to, everyone that's doing the CompTIA certs and you're currently in school and you have a EDU email address through your school, go to the CompTIA Academic website. Search in Google the CompTIA Academic website. Look it up. Get your certs. Get a percentage off. I think it's up to half off. Goes from like maybe like 20 to 50% off on some certifications. Back to what I was saying. That was a little helpful tidbit in there. Back to what I was saying. So yeah, I did dual enrollment and it was one of my greatest decisions, one of my best decisions, and it helped me save a lot of money. If you're looking to graduate high school early, that's a plus too. They try to talk you out of it when you're in that freshman sophomore level, but it just depends on what you can handle. It really does. The classes to me were a lot easier than AP classes. Like, they made AP classes hard for no reason. Like, I dropped AP World History to get into dual enrollment World History. I was about to fail AP World History. Then I jumped into dual enrollment World History and I made like a B. So, and I got the college credit without having to take an exam. Didn't hurt me. Didn't hurt anybody. Like, it really helped me. So that's just my rant there. But so it really just takes being determined and persistent to get through it. Majority of my professors, they were able to get them on the Career Academy. Like, they were able to have them teach classes on our technical high school campus, so we didn't have to really go to the college campus. When it got to me taking my Cisco courses, I had to go to the campus because the classes at the technical school were general ed. But other than that, it was really a really good decision. So I'm going to stress it because it's something not everybody knows about. And just ask your high school counselors if you have any like college career coaches on campus. They should know about it. But yeah, if you're on that middle school, high school level, if you're already a senior, it may be too late. If you're a senior in your first semester of high school, look into getting into dual enrollment in your second semester. It might not be too late, but yeah, jump into it when possible. So I need to get up to the point of like how I graduated on a more personal level. I want to start being more real with you guys because it's about the experience. It's about how we get into tech. We're focused on building a community. I want to make sure we have realistic standards, but my experience may not be your experience. Your experience may not like relate to mine. It just is what it is. So I'm gonna get into a little bit of personal things on the I'm gonna get into a little bit of personal things on the podcast. So after high school, I had an internship, and that internship was with a cybersecurity consulting firm. It was a small company, about, I would say, less than 20 employees, maybe less than 15. But I was very hard-headed during that experience. I normally take everything that I do as a learning experience. It doesn't matter if I fail. It doesn't matter if I don't do as well as I thought I'd do. It's just I take it in as a learning experience. It's something that I could potentially use later. But for this internship, I'm gonna be honest, my judgment was so clouded. I did not take advantage of it to the fullest, and I wish I did. Going back, like thinking back to it, I didn't take advantage of all the opportunities that I could have at that internship. So saying that, I was really appreciative of it, but I was also going through this mindset of I graduated from high school. I'm finishing up my associate's degree in this summer. I should be doing networking. I should be doing what I studied so hard for. And back then, like, I was so zoned into that goal, like, I did not want to do nothing else. So when it got time for that internship to be done, I was supposed to go to Kennesaw. Like, I was finished, my associates would be finished by that August. It would be finished by that August, so class finished up in like July. Yeah, class finishes up in July. I was gonna be moving on to Kennesaw State, getting ready to go. So I bring up the internship because that was a paid internship. I was being paid. It was technically like the most money I've ever gotten. And I feel like when I was in high school, I worked a lot of like fast food retail jobs, and that was like minimum wage. So being bumped up to just honestly maybe $4 or $5 more than that, it felt like the world to me. I did not know how to manage my money back then. This is important. Learn how to manage my money, kids. So I did not do myself justice by being so narrow-minded in the situation. So once the internship was over, I did end up basically being jobless because I felt that I should have had longer to stay. I was going through a pretty hard time. Like, my car was messing up. At this point, like, this is still on a more personal level. Like, rent was not getting covered. Like, I was staying at home with my people, with my family. Like, did not know this. Rent was not getting covered. So we were running off of one car. Everybody trying to get to this place, get there. It was becoming a real struggle at this point in time. And I just felt like I should be doing what I'm supposed to be doing because that's what's going to help me get out of these type of situations or something. Like, it just feels like I'm not where I'm supposed to be at. So once the internship ended, let me get to the internship ended. and it's time to start my first semester at Kennesaw in the fall of 2019. Financial aid did not go through. I had issues when applying for it. I didn't get enough, or I just didn't get it in time. Kennesaw will take some money. Like, I feel like any college would. Kennesaw will make sure they get their money. They'll run them their dollars. So I was unable to attend. I had attended my first week, and I was desperately looking for jobs during my first week because tuition was expensive for me, because I wasn't staying on campus, but I was trying to go to school on campus. So that didn't work out. I ended up sitting, I remember the day, I remember sitting in one of the buildings on like the bench chair in the long hallway. It was a science building. I remember sitting in the science building in like this little bench, and I'm just dropping all my classes. I'm just dropping them. Like, I just got done with one class and I just dropped all of them. So I'm going ahead, and it was a night class too. I'm going ahead and walk into my car around like 8 something at night, just thinking like, dang, I can't even attend school this semester. I haven't even been able to find a job that'll help me cover school. So I am broke, jobless, not in school, car is messing up. Basically, I am going through this post-grad depression because I was going through a post-grad depression because my reality, it wasn't what I expected it to be at all. Like, everything was getting so hyped up when I was in high school, when I was completing the GPTC associate's degree. Everything was getting so hyped up, like you're gonna get a job right after, everything's gonna come in, the money's gonna start pouring in, and it just felt like none of that was happening. none of it. I was very depressed. I don't think I really talked to anybody but who I was with at the time, and I don't even feel like my family even noticed that my whole mood changed because of all of this. It was more so they saw me doing interviews every day. They tried to be encouraging, but it's just like deep down I'm like, this is not supposed to be happening. But you know how they say everything happens for a reason? That really wish I could have got past that part. But when I finally got a job, it wasn't what I was intended. Like, after I had got my associates, I was applying for a lot of jobs that fell under the category of like what I got my degree in, which was like Cisco networking. I was applying to a lot of network operations, help desk roles, something to get my foot in the door in the industry. Like, I did a lot of internships, but nobody cares about internships, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, I suggest getting internships simply for the fact of getting your like ground experience. But the internships, the degree, it wasn't enough, and I was applying for roles that were very entry level, that were roles that will bring you in, train you. They want somebody who was ecstatic, ready to go, and I'm normally like a quick learner, and I'm so wide-eyed to everything that I'm willing to try a lot. So that just didn't pan out how I thought it was going to, and it took a minute. I wouldn't say it was like a year-long job hunt how some people have it, but yeah, I was applying to positions every single day. I used Career Builder, and you have to be careful when you use Career Builder because there are a lot of scams that come up when you apply. there are a lot of, real jobs, but there are also a lot of scams. You'll literally get the notification that, you applied to a scam job like maybe a week or two later. And I was getting a lot of those because I did the quick applies. And on the quick applies, you're just applying to like 50 positions at one time with your resume. And I got contacted by a lot of contracting companies, a lot of hiring agencies. So this is still a point in time. I didn't have a job. So I am applying, interview after interview. I'm getting told, like, you seem like a really good candidate, like you're really, well versed and you have a lot of knowledge under your belt. And I kept getting rejected. Just to be real, like, I got rejected from so many jobs that I applied to. So many of them. I just felt like giving up. So at this point, bills are coming in, car insurance, car note, phone bills, like, and then sometimes take care of bills at the house. It was so much that was just causing me to like really want to be done. And I don't mean like done like done, but I just mean like over trying for the IT stuff. It really did. Like, I was just like, okay, I just need to get a job. That's what I did. So I was applying back. I really wanted to avoid going back to fast food and retail, but I ended up going back, started working at Marco's, delivery driving. Tried to deliver a job, but my car was not starting. My car was not having it. I had a Ford Focus, a little red Ford Focus. Her name was Shirley. Shirley was not having that. she did not want me out there in those streets delivering pieces. So she just gave up. So I was having a lot of issues with the car. So I was barely making money. And it was just feeding more and more into that post-grad depression. It's just like, this is not how things are supposed to be panning out for me. So on to the next. Still at Marco, sometimes they'll let me be an insider. So I'm still applying to jobs left and right, heavily, every day. Going home, I'm just like, this isn't what I want to do. I need to be doing something in technology like I've planned to do, like I've set myself up to do. And there were times where I would get so frustrated. I remember the most like upset I got is when I had a call with this hiring agency, and they told me that they did not have something in the role that I was looking for, but they wanted me to come in to Atlanta, and I'm in like Stockbridge, and that's like it's like 40-50 minutes, but still, at this point, I'm having all these issues. I'm broke. I don't have gas money. So I'm going through and I'm talking to them, trying to be nice, and I'm really desperate at this point. So I'm just showing up. I take my messed up car to Atlanta, and I have like $11 in the bank account at this point, and my tank is pretty much on E. So I get to Atlanta, and then I gotta pay to park. I drive into this parking deck. I go upstairs and meet these people, just for them to tell me the same thing they said over the phone. They just wanted to see me in person. They've only had phone conversations with me, but they wanted to see me in person. So I go in there, try to be as happy as I can be, just setting realistic standards based on my skill set. And they're talking about they still don't have nothing for me. So I'm just dreading this process at this point. I'm just like, I feel so drained. I go back to my car. I leave the parking deck. I'm glad it was $3, but when you only got $11 in the account and your tank on E, and them $3 could, get you from get you home. $3 can get you home. This was before all those prices raised up. It was like, you know, gas was cheaper, like around $2.50. But that was when I was like truly like fed up. I think I might have like went home and cried. Like I was in the bed all the time. Like if I wasn't up applying to jobs, I was in bed. I did not really want to get out of it. I didn't want to do anything. Like it was a sad moment for me. I look back at it and I'm just like, yeah, I don't ever want to go through that ever again. So yeah, I learned how to manage my money, and always have something else coming in. And besides that, let's go ahead and continue. So yeah, this is within like August, around like that August, September area, September, October period. I was just struggling. I was just going through the silent struggle. I like to be the person that always seems strong, but in reality, I'm not that strong. I'm not. That's what I said. This is getting real personal. Like this is getting real personal. I'm taking y'all on the rocky road it was for me to just break into the industry for real, because it is what it is. So I ended up getting a job at Walmart, and this job at Walmart, I did pickup, and I worked there for about a month or so. I kept applying to jobs. I still continue to apply to any tech job I can get my hands on, any job posting, anything. I was still applying. So I ended up with tech systems. Like they called me, they let me know that there was a position open with the service desk with like a WellStar Go Live. Is where I think Go Lives are pretty much where a company will upgrade software or put in new software in place, and they just need people to be there to support, do technical support for it, or you know, like desktop support, because it's gonna be a high income of calls about like all the new stuff. So that was only 2 weeks, and I realized like I'm definitely not quitting Walmart for something that's 2 weeks, but I'll take this so I can get my foot in the door. So I ended up doing Walmart and that at the same time. So I was working literally every single day. I'd go from an 8-hour shift to a 12-hour shift. And I'll do 2 12s and an 8 at Walmart. So it was just, I was working. I was trying to get this experience. I was showing up, trying to be happy. I was excited, in all honesty. I was really ready to take on more. I even got told that, you know, there was a possibility for me to come on. What I learned from that experience was, for one, don't believe nothing until it's in black and white, on paper, ready to go, ready for you to sign, ready for somebody to sign. Don't believe nothing until you get that paper, because people can tell you anything. Promises don't mean nothing. The next thing I learned is patient on the table situations are very high priority and urgent. And the other thing is, password resets are very heavy. The password resets are a pretty common call for any help desk job. Like, people said something, don't remember what they said the next day, and you know, you get those repeat callers. Just like, did you forget again? Yeah. So that's something that I learned there, and I'm glad I went through the experience, because it showed me that, you know, it's possible for me to do this. Even though if I have to do contract work, I have to do contract work to just get my experience, to do something. So once it was over with, let me tell y'all how this ended, okay? Let me just let y'all know how this ended. I was driving home right after I got off shift at the job, and the lady that was working with me, she never pronounced my name right. For those who don't know, my name is Shikeria, and I go by Shy. I simplify it for a reason. I don't feel like going through all the mispronunciations at all. So, so I'm driving home from the job, thinking it was a pretty good day, and she calls, and she says my name wrong. She says my name wrong, and she's telling me that they're letting me go. Like, they're not continuing with me. So, I'm not entirely upset that it's over because it was a 2-week, like, guarantee type of thing. Like, you're gonna be there for 2 weeks. If we want you here longer, we'll keep you here longer. It's just the fact that common decency would be to, pronounce my name right. Pronounce my name right. If you're going to let me go, at least show you have that much respect for me. That was my qualm on that, but it is what it is now. And once I got done with that, was working at Walmart, handy dandy, back and forth doing pickup, it's fine. And one day I went out to a person's car, and I was taking groceries out to a person's car, and I think that they had a Cisco shirt on. So I asked them about their experience, because Cisco was one of the companies that I wanted to be able to look into, because, I'm getting my certifications in Cisco, I'm getting my degree on Cisco equipment and things like that. Like, what would make me not want to work with Cisco themselves? So I asked them about their experience, and they were in like voice communications, and I told them what I'm looking to do with my career. Like, I'm just trying to get a foot in the door, and they mentioned to me the current position that I am in now. Connect with me on LinkedIn at Shikeria Johnson, so that way, you can get more info on that. But they linked me in with the position that I am now. They told me about this post that the recruiter had, and honestly, I thank him like 1,000 times, because if it wasn't for that, I don't know how long I would have been at Walmart, because it just felt like every time I had an interview, I would get told I'm a good candidate, and I have all the requirements, but there's just one thing missing, which is they always use the excuse of a bachelor's degree for a role that will be paying like $15 an hour. They always use that excuse on me, and I never understood why. I never understood why. Like, if I really was not qualified, do you really need a bachelor's degree to work for $15 an hour? Was that the value of this degree to you? That kind of like threw me off multiple times. Yes, that threw me off multiple times. So yeah, I applied to the job, and my bad, it's a help desk role. I'm in a different role now, but it was a help desk role. And with that role, it was pretty much desktop support, general support for like corporate logistics, overseas associates. I think it was for like the corporate associates. So I applied there, got to the interview, did well in the interview, and they let me know a response back the same day that I got the job. I was really excited. I'm like reflecting back, like I was really excited, because it felt like I have been trying so hard just to get to this one spot. And it was also like a thing of like, don't give up. And the crazy thing about it is, this was the same month that we had got evicted. So it was kind of like a light in a sea of darkness. So I'm putting all my business out there, because it's the reality of the fact, like, I want this podcast to be a little bit more personal, so that way we get understanding. Like, we have a real community. You guys know me, I know you. So it's just reality of the situation. Like, I finally got a job in the career field that I've been looking for. Well, the career field that I've been trying to step into for a long time. And a few months after high school may not be considered a long time, but to me, with everything that was like stacking and piling on top of each other, that was a long time. It was like car issues, bills not being paid, and then it got stacked on top of like I'm calling out of Walmart because they taking our stuff out of the apartment type stuff, like type thing. It was a very rough period of time right after high school. And once I got that job, it was again like a bump in pay. It was the highest I've made, and I learned how to manage money. Let me say that. I learned how to manage my money when I got that job. So I was doing the call center job, and I really enjoyed it for a bit. I really did. After a while, I went ahead and got my CCNA. I was still studying, but I went ahead and got my CCNA in 2020. I think in April. I think I got it in April. It was early part of 2020. So got that CCNA, and then the pandemic happened, and I really put that stuff aside. It's like I was just working, and I really wanted to do something else. Like, I realized I do want to have businesses. Like, I want to have stuff for myself. I don't always want to work for somebody else. So during that period of time, my focus on technology grew less and less. I ended up having like a cosmetic business, which was not my passion. Like, I really do enjoy technology. It's just the fact of like, I don't enjoy sitting in one place for too long. Like, for this podcast, I'm sitting in one place, but I'm able to talk and communicate and do things how I kind of want to do them. Do things how I want to do them, being more specific on that. Direct. It was just the fact of I'm clocking in every day. I'm taking about 30, 40 calls of people with the same exact issues. Same issues. Sometimes it's work that's just like somebody got to do it. But it just got really tiring. It's like nothing was exciting anymore. It's like that light dulled. So that's what I'm coming to terms with. Like, now I am, once I learn something well enough, or I can understand the procedure of it, I want to be on to the next thing. I want to constantly continue like learning, being challenged. Like, once I don't feel like I'm challenged anymore, I get bored and start looking at shiny objects. And the business for me was a shiny object. So ended up not wanting to do. I've kind of like put my all into it. Like, I made sure I promoted as much as possible. I should have did more. It was just like my antisocialness kicked in, but it's whatever. So now I've turned to be insightful in technology, because this is what I do want to have. Like, Be Insightful Community is like the actual business that I want to work on and grow into and just have as my baby to take care of, because this is where I belong. I wanted a sense of community, and I have one, but it's not as tight knit. I need to tighten it some more and bring us all in and just get events together. I want to be able to pull together an event of a bunch of like technology associates, like a group of like 1,000 one day. We're all there networking with each other, talking about things, playing games, just having fun. That's what I aim for. That's what I want with this Be Insightful Community. Hope it becomes everything that I wanted to. So speaking of that, while I'm at this job, like once I get the job, I get my CCNA, a position over on the network operations side becomes open. Keep in mind, I was applying to network operation positions when I was first done with my associate's degree. Like when I first got done with it, I was applying to those roles left and right, got rejected multiple times, which is funny because a company contacted me about this role for Sprint, and then another company contacted me about that same role, and then another place contacted me about that same role. I was getting contacts left and right for the same position, same exact position, and because I think 2 places submitted me, I didn't get it. So I was just like, well, if all these people think that I'm a good fit for this role, like, go ahead and just give me the interview. Let me talk to them. But yeah, I got dropped. So when I think about it, I have been through a lot of rejection. Anyways, this kind of like a hard truth to face. Anyways, on to the next. You know, they say you get 1,000 no's before you get 1 yes. So went through all my no's, got my yes, and just kept trying to grow myself. So after I got my CCNA, the knock roll opened up. I went ahead and applied due to the fact that got my CCNA. I was not in my 6-month I wasn't finished with my 6-month period to where you can move to other positions or apply to other roles. I wasn't finished with my 6-month period. So I was kind of just stuck in help desk. So I'm just like, dang, I should be doing more. I should be going out. I should be finding like something that meets my requirements, because this was like a role I started feeling like I got that feeling to where I should be doing something else. I got that feeling to where I should be doing something else. And when I get that, I start looking. I start making sure I should be building something. And that's what I ended up doing, the business. But then the pandemic happened, everybody got sent home, and I was still working same company, doing the call center stuff, waking up every day, taking calls, going to bed. It just felt like a cycle. Like, if you guys seen SpongeBob, when Squidward was reliving the same day, that was me. That was me. I was waking up, taking calls, going to bed, waking up, taking calls, going to bed. It was like I started dreaming that I was on these calls. Like, I started dreaming that I was still working. Every little beep, every little ring, it felt like a call coming through. Oh, I'm saying my intro. Like, thank you for contacting this call center or whatever. Like, it felt like that, and I hated it. Like, it was getting so annoying. It's like, since we're all at home, it's like, don't get me wrong, I love working remote. I do love it. But it was just the fact of like, my life was becoming a whole cycle. So I needed to do something different. And due to wanting to do something different, that's when the business came in. So did the business, did the cosmetic line. The experience was well. I learned the good stuff about business, which is, you know, things that I don't want to do, things I want to make sure I take care of beforehand. Did a lot. And I know I'm going like all off and over the place, but this is critical to how I got to an understanding of what I'm truly meant to be doing. So ended up going through the shiny object phase, looking at this business that's not in anything, not in any tech related field, and I lost interest in that too. Like, if you hear a trend, I lose interest in things. So I lost interest in that because it didn't feel like my purpose. It's like, I'm not here to do a cosmetic business. Like, this isn't me. So went ahead, stopped it, did like a pop-up shop. That was my last thing. pretty much closed down everything. Still working this job where it feels like my life is going through a cycle every day, same thing. All right, another knock position opens. I apply. I get it. I'm excited. I get the pay bump, most I've made, and now I'm here. And I've graduated school like this month. I graduated school this month. And all I keep hearing are empty promises of, this will help you out. You got your bachelor's, this will really give you a big increase here and everything. It's like all I'm hearing is empty promises. So it just makes me, want to find better for myself. So, like, if I'm going to be completely honest, I am not holding nothing back. So, it makes me want to find better for myself. So, after I graduated, coming up from like the highest point you feel like you're at in your life, and then turning back and, coming from the highest point you feel like you've been in your life, and then going to your normal everyday life, it just feels like a standstill. I don't know how to explain it. It just does not feel right. It didn't feel like I was coming to anything that I would be proud of. Like, I'm proud that I graduated, but now I'm going back to my regular life, and it just doesn't feel satisfying. Like, I'm super happy, then the next day I gotta go to work. It's not like I don't like networking. It's just, I'm supposed to be doing more. I've got that. I'm supposed to be doing more feeling. Once I get that feeling, I start looking and I start getting to the where I'm supposed to be, the more. So we're here now. And we're here now. And what is my plan? I really want to focus more on me. That's my plan. I've been on a self-discovery journey, and on a career end of that, I want to focus on being insightful community. I want to focus on being insightful in technology. I want to ensure that I have something other than, a normal 9 to 5, because we all know those are unstable at this point. What is it, unstable? Those are, you lose it, you're done type of things. And it just isn't what I'm really going for. Like, I enjoy getting to know the people at work. I enjoy, talking to them, and let me say this. I have overworked myself for jobs that have very much undervalued me, and I notice it and I see it now. I used to be so desperate for a position at their company or whatever, just to realize, like, once I got there, I am being taken advantage of. I am working my fingers to the bone and just not getting what I deserve, if that makes sense. Like, can be somewhere and it's just, where you just, like, in your heart, you just know there's definitely better for you. There's better for me. So I don't want to sound like cocky or anything in any of this. I don't want to sound like big-headed or nothing. It's just the fact that I'm starting to really understand my value. Like, before all of this, I did not understand my value. I was just at a low point to where anything looked good to me. Like, you know, when you're super hungry, anything tastes good and anything will satisfy that. That's where I was. So my plan now is to put more energy into this podcast and this community, and I'm gonna go on a skill set basis. I'm gonna go after the Google Cloud platform. I'm gonna go after the Google Cloud platform certification because I applied to the program and I got accepted, and I was just like, why not? Why not go ahead and learn more? My main goal is to have a consulting company. My own consulting company. So, and maybe with cloud services, who knows? If I really like the Google Cloud platform, I'll take that route. So that is my main thing on the career side. Speaking of career, I used to say I wanted to be a network engineer. I have affirmations every day of things that I want to look forward to or things that I know I am going to become. And I modify them. I feel like if you're aspiring to be a certain thing, you know, sometimes you have to already put yourself in that position so you can envision yourself that it's possible for you to do it, like no holding back. I have my affirmations, I modify them, so I changed my affirmations to I am a IT advocate and I own a successful IT consulting company. And I'm speaking it into existence because it's gonna happen for me. That's what I feel like my path leads. I remember when I was younger, I shouldn't say younger, maybe like a few years ago, I was talking to my uncle, just like, it's like I'm climbing the corporate ladder to gain experience. Just to be real, like, I'm climbing the corporate ladder just to gain experience, and I'm gonna make sure that this experience isn't like not worth anything, because it is worth something. It's just like I'm gonna take what I learn and apply it to my overall goal. So I'm glad you stayed this long for the podcast. If you're listening, if you're watching, glad you stayed this long. There is something that I plan to put into place with this podcast, and it's going to be episodes every week. They're going to be every week on Thursday at 8 a.m. That's where you can catch us. If you listen to the podcast, we're on Anchor. If you want to catch us like as soon as we release, Spotify will be the platform. But you know, if you are fine with waiting on through later on the day, other platforms that you listen to podcasts on will be releasing there. And I say we because I am a collector, but I'll be releasing the podcast there. And on YouTube, we'll be on Saturdays. So here's the schedule. Be Insightful in Technology will be released on 8 a.m. on Thursdays. 8 a.m. every Thursday. And the YouTube, if you want to watch the YouTube version of the podcast, will be releasing on Saturday I'll say Saturday at 10 a.m. Saturday at 10 a.m. is when the video version of the podcast will be out. And there's also, let me get you guys to actually be a part of the community so we can communicate, so we can talk, we can get on a more personal level, we can be realistic. Like, I want that. Like, I want to have that type of community where we can actually talk about the things that are truly going on. I am very excited to be a part of the tech community and the tech industry. I just want to be realistic. Like, I just want to be real with the experiences that we go through in here, like whether they're good or bad. Like, I am really proud that I made it this far. I am super excited that I know I'm about to go further. So I just want to be here with you. I want to be here. Be eye level with you. We talk about it. I will be looking for people who want to do interviews on the podcast. So anyone who's looking to do an interview, just connect with me on LinkedIn or Clubhouse. I really want to get us on Clubhouse so that way I can talk with you guys kind of like in the moment. So if you do want to connect and you want to make sure you join this community, go ahead and follow the page and, join on Facebook at Be Insightful Co. is Be Insightful CO. And on Instagram and Twitter, it's the same, Be Insightful CO. And you can catch my profile at network.shy on Instagram. And for Clubhouse, it's a little different. I'm going to make sure I get everything like all the same, but it's a little different. So on Clubhouse, you'll reach me at Just Shy, so it's SHI.J. So, oh my bad. Yeah, Just Shy J. Just Shy J. I'll make sure I include everything in the description and also in the show notes. Just in all the links. All the links will be in there as well. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen. There are bigger and better things for all of us out there. If you're in a slump right now, just know that there will be an upside to this. I wouldn't say that it just happens. I just say, put in the work. Sometimes, even speaking to a stranger, that's how I got to my next level. That's why I'm so big on community, because this one person that you meet today, you don't know how big they'll impact your life. And I really appreciate all the mentors that I have and everybody who has helped me on my journey to moving into this, because this was definitely not no one-man thing. Like, this took a village. This was a whole community to get me here, and I want to have the same effect on others. I want to make sure that we lift as we climb. In all honesty, I want to make sure that we lift as we climb. We're bringing everybody up with us. And I honestly love that idea, and I hope that you guys see it too. So yeah, follow the page. Go ahead and try to join the Facebook group, Be Insightful CO. It will be Insightful Community, and I'll be most active answering questions on there. Connect with me on LinkedIn if you want an interview for the podcast, and we'll send you the information, get something scheduled. But yeah, thank you guys for listening to Be Insightful in Technology, where we help you gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding so that you can be insightful in technology and jump into this tech industry and get your experience. get your experience. If you're listening to this podcast right now, go ahead, like, comment, follow, subscribe. Make sure you check out our previous episodes and let us know how it was. Make sure you give us a rating, answer the Q&A. I know I'm telling you a lot to do right now, but the main thing is go ahead and comment and rate the podcast. Love your feedback. Need the feedback. Let's help this community grow. Let's create a community and list as they climb. Thank you guys for tuning in, and enjoy your day.